as we all know, we have more Lord of the Rings movies on the way. That was Warner Brothers' announcement just last week, and already we might have a slight red flag, at least in the way that they plan on approaching their Lord of the Rings movies. Again, it's the same issue we have where everything must be done to death. It's never just what our plan is to make a good movie and we'll see what happens after that. It's never that. It's always the Lord of the Rings expected to become a Star Wars style franchise under Warner Brothers watch. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Go, oh, we want it to be like the Star Wars. Oh, what you mean? That used to be a theatre franchise and is now a TV franchise. That is what Star Wars has become. So I don't know why you want to go that route with it. I really don't know, but it's the same thing. It can't just be, we're going to make a good Lord of the Rings movie, whatever that may be, and then after that we'll see what happens. It's always, no, we need a massive, big bastard universe. That's always the route everything goes. Is it, oh no, we must have this humongous universe. We must have about 10 Lord of the Rings movies all being made at once. No, it's just the same issue that everything has. You have DC announcing their stuff. Oh, we've got 17 movies planned and 27 TV shows. It's like, how about make one good movie? See what happens. But no, it's never that. But the new Lord of the Rings movies are on the way. And a new report reveals Warner Brothers may be looking at Star Wars for inspiration. You're that dumb, Warner Brothers. I thought Warner Brothers had maybe gotten a bit smarter over the years, or even with David Zaslav coming into them. But it seems like they're still just backwards. They're still just like, oh, we're looking at Star Wars for inspiration. Yeah, but that's now a TV franchise. Maybe don't get inspired by that. Maybe just focus on what you're planning on making, and that's a Lord of the Rings. But it's always, oh no, we got to compare it to this other thing that literally has nothing to do with this. But let's see what the whole thing's about. The Lord of the Rings of Power, remains the most expensive TV series ever made. Unfortunately, it's also the biggest failure ever made. And Amazon Prime Video now finds itself with some unexpected competition in the form of Warner Brothers. A few days ago, the studio announced plans to expand the franchise in theatres, suggesting we'll soon see two conflicting visions for Middle-earth on our screens. Really, it just comes down to what's going to be better. Warner Brothers is a minority stakeholder in the franchise, but is still free to do what it likes. Desperate to recapture past success, I don't really see that happen. Again, at this point, I'm not really optimistic about it. The same goes for most stuff. It's kind of, you just have to wait and see. The Discovery-owned studio is banking on yet another familiar IP, and it seems like they're just going the completely wrong way with it, as it says here. And the Hollywood Reporter reveals that though there are no scripts yet, one insider suggests to us that Warner Brothers hopes to turn Lord of the Rings into a Star Wars-like franchise. Do they just not look out and see what is happening? It even says here, no scripts yet. They're already talking about, oh, hope it turns into Star Wars. Why? Star Wars is essentially dead at this point. They've pissed everyone off. They can't even release, they're too scared to release a movie in case it bombs. That's where Star Wars is at. So this idea, oh, we hope to turn it into the Star Wars. I'm just like, well, what exactly is that? Just come out and make a good movie. That's all anybody wants. We don't need, right, we've got, this is phase 1 of the Lord of the Rings. We've got Aragorn, the Solo show, all that sort of stuff. It's all, just make one. Just make one good thing, and then see what happens with it. But no, they want it to be like a Star Wars-like franchise. That might mean many things, but as we've previously heard about plans to give, you know, it may mean many things, but to me, it just suggests that, oh, we're going to have about 80 different things to keep up with. That's how it comes across when I read they hope to turn Lord of the Rings into a Star Wars-like franchise. Again, it's the same that goes for anything these days. We even had, what was it, when a new Tomb Raider series was announced, and they said, this is the Tomb Raider universe. Just everything has got to be this big universe. So that's probably my guess in what they hope to do with it. But as we've previously heard about plans to give key characters their own spin-off movies, it's not hard to figure out where The Lord of the Rings may be heading. It sounds like Warner Brothers is keen to enlist filmmaker Peter Jackson and his writing partners Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens to be part of this vision, and that's the only good thing so far about this whole deal, is that Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, all the people from the original trilogy, that's really the only plus at the moment. Everything else is, I wouldn't be too excited about anything. Something that would give them an advantage over Amazon, a studio that froze them out of the Rings of Power. Yeah, they ghosted Peter Jackson, didn't they? Warner Brothers had found itself embroiled in a legal battle with the Soul Saints company-owned Middle-earth Enterprises about whether they were doing enough with the property. Because, you know, we pointed this out the last time I did a video on this announcement, is Warner Brothers, if they don't actually produce Lord of the Rings stuff, then their rights will go back to, I guess, the Soul Saints company. So it's something that they have to do, really. With plans for an animated movie, The War of the Rohirrim, deemed insufficient. New owners, Embracer, have settled matters as they look to take advantage of the franchise's popularity. While Amazon plans to remain in the Second Age, Warner Brothers is looking to figure out how to tell more stories in the Third Age. One insider, you know, we all know they haven't got much to go on. There's plenty there you can make films on, but there's not loads. There's not enough there to go, we're creating a universe. So if they do go that route, it's going to be a very tiny universe. One insider views that as a sign of desperation, they want to make it seem like they are the studio of old. The Hobbit didn't leave people wanting more. I mean, again, that's really another downside to this, is the fact that they're not making this because they want to. They're making it because they have to. So I just think maybe people at Warner Brothers are going to be looking at it in a different way. They're just like, it's just something we got to do if we want to keep our rights. There are even concerns that Amazon may scrap plans to fulfill its 5-season plan for the Rings of Power. I wouldn't be concerned about that. Hopefully they do that. My guess is by about season 3, if they're still in the shitty situation that they are. After the lukewarm reception to the series, leaving the franchise's television future in doubt. Oh no, whatever shall we do? Talking to Variety, however, Amazon Studios head Jennifer Salke seemed unconcerned. She was definitely really unconcerned about whether there's a risk of oversaturating the market with Middle-earth content. That's probably what's going to happen, and that's mainly what I take issue with, is that, so we're just going to do it to death, and just people end up bored of it, sick of it, like we see with Marvel, like we see with most franchises these days, because everything is, we've got to have a big mega universe with about 70 and 100 fucking TV shows and films, and it just becomes, it gets very, very old. So it's the worry. But Jennifer Salke, apparently she's not very worried, you see. She says, we'll see. We love our original series. We're extremely proud of it. I guess you don't know what proud means. And invested long term, so we definitely think there's enough fan love to sustain ours for a long time. A lot of fan love for the Rings of Power. But that's what we have to come for the Lord of the Rings, apparently. Is it's going to be like Star Wars? Right. So, yeah, we're just doing the usual thing. We're going, oh, we want just 20 films, you know, no thought about it. But again, all you have to say to even attempt to win people over is just go, what we're going to do is, you know, we're going to take a bold new step, a new strategy. We're going to make one good movie, and then we'll see what happens. But no, we can't do that these days, can we?